Hey guys, today I thought we would do a short therapy exercise. If you've been watching my YouTube channel thus far, I did a therapy exercise like this earlier. I have a bunch of these self-discovery cards because part of what I'm doing is trying to learn about myself, because I feel like with my depression and my low self-esteem and everything, a lot of my life I haven't really gotten to know myself as a person, and I'm going back and kind of doing that with myself because I think it's important. So if you are in the same boat and you need to do some like identity work, then you can listen along. You can write these questions down. You can just pause the video and kind of think about what your answers would be to these questions, however you want to do it. I would also love anybody to respond in the comments with one of their answers to the questions, because I would love to hear what you guys think. Let me make sure I mix this up well enough for us. Throw on my first one. Okay. What do you do when you can't fall asleep? That is a good question, because it's always different for me. Usually I will get up and smoke a cigarette, and then I'll come back in bed and I'll like sit on my phone, like scrolling or playing a game or something for a bit until I fall asleep again. But sometimes I don't get back to sleep because it has disrupted my sleep. So sometimes I just lay in bed for an hour trying to fall asleep. And so I definitely have difficulties with that. I toss and turn when I sleep personally, and I also am a light sleeper. So any little thing could, like any little noise or thing could wake me up to the point that I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. So that is something I struggle with and is very difficult for me, because if you know anything about ADHD and mental health, it is always important to have a regular sleep schedule. And most of us don't get that because we struggle with sleeping too much, sleeping too little, depending on our mood. Yeah, that's definitely something that I struggle with. What is something you want to change about yourself, and what are 2 things you can do to accomplish this? Well, recently I've really been thinking about ways that I can improve my executive functioning and my productivity as a person with mental illness and ADHD, because those are the things that I struggle with the most. And I will say that the 2 things to me that I'm focusing on right now are consistency. So making sure I'm being consistent about posting my videos and doing what I said I was going to do, going live, staying consistent, because consistency is one of the most important things in life. If you're not consistent, then people aren't going to take you as seriously. And that's something that I've struggled with my whole life, because I feel like my family kind of was judgmental because they were like, oh, it's just a phase. She's not really gonna put her all into this. And then I had projects like that kind of got ignored. So consistency is something that I want to work on, because I want to keep going for my dreams. It's just that I have self-esteem issues, so sometimes I get depressed and I get beaten down by life, and I think, well, maybe I won't be successful. But, you know, I've been thinking that way my whole life, so it's kind of time for me to like start achieving those things. So consistency is one thing. The other thing, patience. I am a very impatient person, and one of the things that I've learned about doing YouTube and TikTok and everything is that you have to be patient with everything, especially with posting content, which I'm very bad at. I will post 7 videos on TikTok in one day and then be like, okay, that was probably a little much, because now that, you know, I might have gotten better views on that video if I posted it the next day. So what I'm trying to go through is, I have a lot of content that I've already made, and I'm trying to go through and space things out more so that I have ample time for people to view my content and respond to it, and then enough time that I'm making a new video or new content soon enough after that to keep the momentum going. So those are the 2 things that I really want to focus on. I'm very, right now, goal and job oriented, so a lot of my answers to these questions may be focused on that. But for you personally, maybe there's like you want to work on your self-esteem. There's 2 things you want to work on with that. There's 2 things you want to work on with your relationships or your personality or family. So I like these questions because they're so general that you can apply them to pretty much anything in your life. Oh my gosh, I got another change thing. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? If applicable, is the answer you shared with the group the truth? Because I guess these cards are used in like group therapy sessions, but I mean, you can do them individually too. Change one thing about myself, what would it be? Well, I would have liked to start working on my goals earlier in life. So I guess I would say it's a time thing where I wish it hadn't taken me so long to realize a lot of the things that I have now realized as a 35-year-old woman. So, I feel like maybe I could have become more successful quicker if I had started working on this stuff earlier. But my self-esteem was so low. So this is my journey. I mean, with that being said, I guess I wouldn't change anything about myself. I just kind of had that sort of feeling of regret a little bit, but I'm getting over it because now I can do that stuff, build that, what I want. So I shouldn't let that, I really don't think I should change anything about myself. And that is because I've been working on my self-esteem. So there you go. Or, are you doing anything that makes you and people around you happy? Explain. I think so. I think that with this YouTube channel and talking about mental health issues, that is helping people and making them happy. And I also do TikTok live and I sing karaoke on there. And I've started getting a lot more viewers and people who enjoy my singing and my goofy personality. And that always seems to make people smile. And I love making people laugh and making people smile. That's kind of one of my things. And so I think that is how I am making people happy right now. What are your strengths? Name at least 5. Okay, my strengths. Well, number 1, creative. I am a very creative person. So everything I do and every aspect of my life, I live creatively. That's why my banner on my YouTube channel says living creatively with ADHD, because everything I do and everything I think is in this very unique and creative mindset. And that's the way I like to be. I like to create. Number 2, I will say courageous, because in the last few years, I've become more courageous and brave about putting my music and my singing out on the internet. And that is something in the past that I was not brave enough to do. A nice personality, good personality. Is that a strength? Good personality. I feel like I'm a very bubbly person and I'm very approachable in person. I like to talk to people, so I'm very social. I'm beautiful. I'm attractive. I'm very beautiful the way I look. So I think that's a strength, because me accepting myself, sorry, my chair squeaks like you wouldn't believe. Accepting that and loving myself, I think, is a strength, because I'm now seeing myself the way I should and not, overly criticizing myself. Thinking of things on the fly. So what that means for me is that if somebody was to say, okay, right now we have to make a video, and we have to make a video about the top 5 traits of ADHD, and nobody has any material for it. You give me 10 minutes and I'll come up with this like super creative, crazy idea for that video that actually works. When I was a teacher, I tended to think of activities on the fly, even while I was teaching my students. So I'd be like, oh guys, you know what we should do for this? We should do this project. Sometimes being that unplanned and unorganized is not a good thing, but I see it for me as a strength, because it means that I am very creative and resilient and able to bounce back. What's the difference between you and most other people? I have ADHD. That's a weird question. I guess, so how am I a unique individual? I'm unique because I have a lot of different hobbies and I have a lot of different passions, but most of my passions revolve around art and music. And so I like to do a lot of different things like that. And I know not many people like to, paint and write and sing and make music. And, a lot of people have a couple different hobbies, but I have so many hobbies that it's hard to keep track of them sometimes. And there are my main ones that I'm really good at, and then ones that I kind of circulate through. So I think that kind of makes me a different from everyone else and unique. Tell about something you do well. Well, I think that what I do well is being honest and vulnerable with my audience about my struggles and my mental health. And I also think that I'm funny and a good singer. So I think that I entertain but also inform, and I think that's important, especially if you want to build a community of people here that are like-minded, make an impact on society. Woohoo! I sound so adult today. Are you proud of what you're doing with your life right now? Explain. Yes. I'm proud of what I'm doing because I'm actually going for the things that I want to do in life. I have spent so much of my life people pleasing and doing the things that I thought other people wanted of me or wanted me to do, and not thinking about what I wanted in my life. Now I'm thinking about what I want and what I want to do. And I'm not listening to that other, stuff, because it's toxic. It's like, oh no, you can't do this. Oh, you'll never be able to do that. You know what? Screw that. Screw that, because this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I'm proud of the accomplishments I'm making with TikTok and my YouTube channel and bringing a voice to the internet, adult ADHD in women specifically. How do you want others to see you? I think that we can't really control how others see us, and we shouldn't really want people to see you a certain way, because that's not up to us. That's up to the universe. Some people are going to like you, some people are going to hate you. It doesn't really matter how others see you. It more to me matters how I see myself. I've let what other people think about me determine how I think about myself for my entire life, and seeing myself in a more positive light, because I am a wonderful human being that deserves love and respect and happiness. Tell about a short-term goal that you have, something you plan on accomplishing within the next week. I really like that this is the last one that we ended on. A short-term goal that I have for this week is remaining consistent with my YouTube channel and TikTok, which means that I am planning on posting 2 to 3 videos a week on my YouTube channel, and I'm planning on going live on TikTok 2 or 3 times a week at least, singing, so that I can get some more followers and get some more interaction going, build my community up. That's kind of my focus for the next several weeks, to be honest. Outside of that, then I'm going to be able to create bigger goals. I've started trying to take it piece by piece instead of trying to do everything at once. Okay, so I've got to focus on this, and then I've got to focus on this. I've got to learn how to do this, and then I've got to focus on those are the self-discovery questions for today. And the next time we do them, I will pull from the same crate. I hope you guys enjoyed this therapy exercise and that it was helpful for you too. Hopefully it gave you a sense of yourself, how you feel about yourself, and what your goals and plans are for yourself. It's important to know those things. It's important to know where you stand. If you don't know where you stand on certain things, then you don't know where you're going in life. So that can make it difficult for you. So self-discovery and identity to me is one of the most important things about therapy, because if you don't know anything about yourself, then you won't know how a therapist or how other people can help you. You need to know enough about yourself to know what helps you and what doesn't. so that you can communicate that to your family and friends. Self-discovery and identity work helps you help other people understand you and understand your needs. It also helps you become a more independent person that's more self-aware. I hope you guys will continue doing these with me. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I hope you guys have an awesome day.